which caused the optic nerve to die.
Hmm. And they said it affects like white women over the age of 40. Corey was a black guy under the age of 19. Just one of those things that can happen to is they say it's like a freak thing, like it just can happen. Sort of like a stroke. Like you know how sometimes when babies have strokes, they say it's like just an anomaly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because my niece, she was like 1 years old and she had a stroke. So they really didn't say what was the cause of it or anything. And
Hmm.
so she's going to therapy now and she's kind of regaining the use of, I think it's her left side and her left hand because she can't really open her hand on the one
Hmm.
side. But yeah, man, you never
Yeah,
know.
it's
Like,
something. And the way it works is like you're saying, they kind of just say, let's just move forward. You know, like we don't know. They never say we don't know, but instead of saying that, they just work on the solutions. What we do know is this, what we do know is that, because really in life, that's all you can do. You know, sometimes if you know the start or the problem, yeah, you can manage that. But when you don't know, that's when you just really just have to say, okay, but where do I go from here? And that's what we've been doing ever since. Because we were together, we were already dating. We were 19, we had been dating for a couple of years. And so it was like, oh, okay, well, I still like you. You still like me. Let's keep going. You know, what do we like to do? What are we into? I had my nursing license by then. So I was working, moving in my career. And okay, now what? What can we do? That's what we did, kept going.
wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. So I want to ask you, how has your life changed as a husband, as a wife, as parents? Were you parents at the time or no?
No, we were still dating. We were like I said, she was fresh out of her nursing program. I was just about to finish my radiology program so that I could be an X-ray technician, and the skies were the limit as far as I was concerned and as far as she was concerned at that point in time. But when that happened, it definitely changed, some of the dynamics of our relationship because, of course, I tried to break up with her when, after a few months of, not knowing. I was like, I don't know where this is going, what I'm going to do, as far as the future is concerned, but she stuck right there. And it changed some logistical things. Like, of course, I wasn't driving anymore. Of course, it took me a while to get myself on my feet and figure out what it is I wanted to do.
Yeah,
But
because you had your own car,
hmm
and so they took the license and cut it up,
hmm
and his parents sold his car. I think it might have been for your parents. Like they could have kept it for
hmm
themselves, but it was just like a hard,
hard reminder.
yeah, a hard
That
reminder of what had happened. And so you went to the Center for the Blind to learn how to use like technology and stuff because
right.
that's when Corey got that status as okay, he's disabled. He's absolutely disabled. So they bring in different services. And I will say that the support for the blind is better it's more, they provide more resources for people who can't see than they would for people with other disabilities because they know that your challenges are just going to be increased, you know?
Right.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so they were the ones who were asking, like they had gotten you a social worker to try to figure out what you wanted to do,
Right.
how you wanted to do it. And when you told them, well, I was in school, I want to keep going to school, that's where they said, oh, well, let's start at the Center for the Blind. They have a program to get you back into college. And, from there, you definitely went there. It was like an overnight stay thing where you were there for months
Yeah.
to
four
learn how to
months.
use it, 4 months to learn how to do things around the house and function.
And it wasn't that quite cut and dry because they that it really it's really the whole process was really, I guess for lack of better words, is really demeaning because like she said, they showed up to my house and the lady says, I need to see a driver's license. And I'm like, okay, thinking she's getting it for identity purposes. She takes it and cuts it and puts it in an envelope and then tells me to sign it. And I'm like, well, what is that? She said, I'm required by the Department of Motor Vehicles to take your license and make sure you don't try to drive. And of course, my sarcastic self is like, if I wanted to drive, I still could, with license or not.
And we still have, if you look on our YouTube channel, we
Mhm.
got videos of Corey driving just to spite that lady back in the day.
And so then, when I went to the Center for the Blind, decided, hey, okay, I know how to, and I did learn some things I didn't know about, putting special markings on the microwave or the washing machine so that I could use it independently. So we had those things going. And I did learn those things, but when I went to the Center for the Blind, they were like, okay, you got two options. You can work in customer service as doing call center work, or you can actually do a vending stand. And the first thing that came to my mind was Richard Pryor in that movie "See No Evil, Hear No Evil" with Gene Wilder.
Have you seen that one?
It's been a while. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, selling gum and candy, and I'm not knocking anybody's business or hustle, but I just knew that wasn't me. I knew that, I'm an intelligent guy. I was in school before, so I'll go to school again.
So you couldn't sell products and services, Corey?
Yeah,
products.
I could have, but I mean, I'm just saying.
But you just didn't want to.
I didn't want to, and
because that wasn't what you. Yeah.
Right, they were making it seem like, well, you don't have a choice. So then I kept challenging on that because they were like, well, if you don't choose a program to go into, then you're gonna have to go home, and we're not gonna be able to provide you any services. So one of the instructors decided to give me a test, and I aced it, and they were like, okay, well, we do have a college preparatory course that you can enroll in to go to college. And I'm like, why didn't y'all say that in the first place when I said I wanted to go to college? So
yeah, it was like they were hiding the good stuff.
Right.
So that's why I was just kind of like glazing over all of that. But for the sake of storytelling, to give people a real understanding of how it goes, it's true. You do have to work hard to
advocate for yourself and have people to advocate with you.
That's exactly it. Not just work hard, but specifically what type of work you have to put in. You do have to advocate for yourself. And you also have to do things like, as far as research for yourself, find out information and ask questions. Whatever you've heard about, ask those questions because it always opens doors.
Yeah. And like I said, of course, LaQuita and I, we did get married, and like I said, the blindness did change logistical things as far as like, she's gonna do all the driving and a lot of other things around the house. I did help out, but a lot of the logistical things, like especially when it comes to transportation, I think that's one of the biggest areas where we actually saw a big shift and change in responsibilities and directions.
And we were still living at home. Like we didn't even get married until we were 25. I was 25. Corey was a little teeny bit younger.
24. She's a cougar.
Yeah. So anyways, my point is that